Hey everybody, it's Zjayfi here. I just wanted to do a quick build video for the Clan Facebook page. There's a lot of people out there that I know are wanting to work on their builds, want to get ready for the raid. Know that we're going to be doing some raid completion attempts soon with some people who haven't had a chance to beat it yet and maybe want to work on their builds. I just want to show you guys my builds, how I got to where I am with my build. You'll be able to see the progression when I show you guys 3 or 4 builds that I have in my inventory right now, and I'll show you how I went from being pretty clumsy in the raid to learning how to be pretty effective in the raid. You'll be able to see it in the builds. I am not the be-all, end-all. We have some great builders in our clan. Notably, Byro is a great builder. So is Focus Drop Shots is a great builder, and we have several other great builders in both PvP and PvE. So don't just take my word for it. Go ahead and ask around and see what everybody else thinks, and get all the information you can, and then figure out what kind of build you want to make for your raid attempt. I'll show you guys what I have, and hopefully you can learn something from this video. I hope everybody can get something out of it, and please give me some feedback on my builds, because I want to improve too. If you see there's something that could make my build better, stronger, hit harder, I want to know about it. I'm always available at Zachary Finnefrock on Facebook, ZJFi on PlayStation, and ZJFi on YouTube are 3 ways to get in touch with me. So let's go ahead and open this up. Not that one. This one. The first thing I got to tell you is that it helps a lot to be a pretty redhead. I figured if I was going to put $500 into a game, that I wanted to at least have something pleasant to look at rather than a butch guy. I wanted a pretty redhead to play with. So yes, if you're running this build, it helps if you're a pretty redhead. I went ahead and put the P416 back into this. That's the wrong build. Let me show you the first one. The Eagle Bearer is in there, but this was the original build that I made for the raid. What I thought, how I thought the raid was going to go, and it runs a custom P416 with strained extra. Some people like Allegro. I like extra. I like to have those extra rounds. It hits for 25.4. It hits nice and hard. 33.5K on the military M60, has unhinged, optimized to compensate, and stop, drop, and roll. That's a great talent. Normally I would have a Liberty in here, but I broke it down to upgrade my Eagle Bearer, so I don't have a Liberty right now. I need to go refarm it. But it has In Rhythm on it, which is a major skill for the raid. Even 5% chance to refresh your Reviver Hive can save your life, absolutely. In this particular build, I have a 33% damage to Elite Mask, which is actually 43% because I got hard hitting, but the 23,000 I need to keep my health up. And that was one of the problems I had with this original raid build. This was the first raid build that I ever did. This is a Berserk chest piece, Berserked with hard hitting and a red mod slot. Weapon damage is everything in the raid, so got 12.5% weapon damage on it, more weapon damage in the mod slot. This particular offensive mod is the best one that I have. I wish I had 5 of those exact red mods so I could make my LMG hit harder too, but unfortunately I only have 1, so it's in every single piece that I have. The Wyvernware holster, I love the critical hit chance, I love the critical hit damage. It's great. I put Devastating on it. I like Devastating over the Gila Guard holster, although the Gila Guard holster is absolutely viable. A lot of people will tell you that the Gila Guard holster is even better. I disagree, because I think it takes 2 red mod slots just to compensate for Devastating, and then you get an additional red mod slot and a red roll, which makes a big difference to me. So that's what I roll with. This particular backpack, I can't remember why it's in here, but because normally I would run efficient and hard hitting, but it does have 9% weapon. Oh, I think it's to make it healthier. That's why I put it in there. I was trying to crank the health up because I was having trouble surviving. That makes sense. This pair of gloves, I use it in every single build I have, I think, except for the Unbreakable build. It's fantastic. 11% assault rifle damage, 5% weapon damage, plus 1.5 damage, and 3% assault rifle. Actually, I could put a better mod in there, but that's okay. I think that's 20% damage right there on my gloves alone, which is more than, well, almost more than my backpack and chest piece combined. So that's a hard-hitting glove right there. And then most of the health in this build comes from the Gila Guard knee pads, which are a great pair of knee pads. I'm told you can get patience on them, but these don't have patience on them, and that's one of the reasons I was having such a hard time staying alive with this build. So after I failed with this build many times, everyone said go unbreakable, so I did put together an unbreakable build. It did not hit hard enough for me. It only hits for 22.8 with the same weapons, 31.5. It has exactly 11 blues, so I couldn't put any more offense into it, even if I wanted to, unless I found something with more and more red rolls. But the problem I had with this build, I found out that it was not survivability that was my problem. It was how I was playing, because I was trying to face tank gold bars at Razorback. I was not using cover effectively. I was making a lot of mistakes when I was first trying to learn the raid, and so eventually I decided that unbreakable wasn't necessary for me to stay alive. It was necessary for me to play better, and I eventually did learn to do that. So I'll give you guys a quick look at it, but you'll have to slow it down if you really want to take a close look at the pieces I have in this unbreakable build. But it is here, it is functional, it's not a bad build. There's the hard hitting and patience knee pads with the health on them. That's a good set of knee pads. I think I actually do use that in my real build. I then settled on another version of a Berserk build, which this is not exactly it. It was all of these things with a Berserk chest piece. Right now I have just a pure DPS chest piece in there, and this is a fun build, but it's not Berserked, which I always want that extra damage because I'm crazy like that. So when I finally completed the raid, and this is the build that I always use in the raid right now. I'll show you guys how it works and show you everything about it. If you don't have an Eagle Bearer, even with the custom P416, this hits plenty hard, and the custom P416 is a great weapon. I still run Strained, Extra, Rooted. I still run these same pieces, Unhinged. Well, this one has Greased on it for some reason. I need to swap that out because I have one that has Stop Drop. Oh, it's for that Extra. That makes sense. I have 120 rounds in that one. Also in Rhythm, once again, that cooldown reduction. Big. The mask I run in this particular one does not have health on it, so I can roll 54% damage to elites right here on my mask, and I also get some crit chance and some crit damage. It's a very offensive mask. I like it. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. I run an Overlord chest piece, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, you gotta have Fenris, It's an assault rifle build. Well, I have Fenris on the knee pads. I don't get anything out of this rifle damage, but this is the piece that had everything I wanted on it. It only has 10% weapon damage, but I was able to roll 51,500 health onto it, which is the key to this entire Berserk raid build. It would not work without this. And it has a red mod slot and a blue mod slot for even more health. Mega Berserk damage, nice and healthy. This is a great chest piece. I wish it could have been a different brand, but it is what it is. Even ASA with cooldown reduction or something would have been great, whatever it was. It doesn't matter. Moving on. Heraldi Holdings holster, modified to be nice and healthy. You'll notice I've toned down the level of reds because staying healthy is important during the raid, but you also need to know strategically where to put them. You'll notice I still have Devastating and the offensive mod slot. What I took out was critical hit chance, which is less important than 35,000 health. I need to stay alive more than I need a few extra critical hits. So that's a great choice right there. Yeah, a lot of people love this Gila Guard. There's nothing wrong with the Gila Guard. I have one right there that I could put offensive mods with 35,000 health, but I want that 5% base weapon damage. It makes such a difference. On my backpack, have 9% weapon damage, 9% total armor. I would like to have hard hitting on here instead of hardened, but no big deal. It is what it is. Efficient is a great talent for the raid. I can't tell you how many times I've been down to one armor heal, one armor kit, and I've used it 3 times, 4 times, sometimes even, and it has saved my life. You get a 50% chance every time. No matter how many times you've hit it in a row, it is still 50% chance. You can theoretically use one armor kit indefinitely. It's a great talent. And if you're running Unbreakable, you can't use that, which is unfortunate. What I like about this over Unbreakable is that this gets a chance to proc every single time. Unbreakable can't proc again for, I want to say 60 seconds or maybe 2 minutes. I don't know how long the cooldown is on Unbreakable. And it's got an offensive and defensive mod slot, so I like this one. I love Gila Guard. I also get that 5% total armor. I'd like to have 2-piece Gila for the Hazard Protect, but it's a sacrifice I had to make. Here's that same pair of gloves, same as it ever was. Never changed them because this is a fantastic hard-hitting pair of gloves right here. What I did change, I learned about patience. Patience is everything. Patience keeps you alive. All you have to do is duck and cover, and in 5 seconds you're already healing back up without using an armor kit, without using a chem heal, without using anything else. So even while you're shooting people, you can be healing. It's a fantastic, it's no brainer. So you got to have at least 6 blues to make it proc, but it's a great. Well, I don't want to say great because it's mandatory. You must have this if you're going to beat Razorback. You have to have patience. Everything else could probably go. It doesn't matter what else it is that I've shown you. You could probably do without it if you made it up for it somewhere, except for patience. Patience has to be in your build if you're going to beat Razorback. I don't know how to say it any other way than that. Yeah, I popped the Eagle Bearer back in there. This thing does great damage. I could probably get like maybe 500 better, but I'll just wait for TU5 for that. My Reviver cooldown, I have like 1700 battery power running in the hive, so I don't have any skill power in my build, I don't think at all. So I have 1600, I have an 11.3% cooldown. Between that and in rhythm, that's the best I can do. I don't find my Reviver being on cooldown while I get shot down a whole lot. Usually I play more cautiously in the 2 minutes I know it's on cooldown. And then the chem heal, it runs on a battery also, but unfortunately it only has 1 slot for battery, so you can only, the biggest battery I had was 972, and the best fitting cooldown reduction I had was 8%, but this only has a 20% cooldown even with no batteries in it. So this is also a mandatory item, I think. Some people go without it. I don't, what they go with the healer drone, I believe, but I could not live without reinforced chem launcher. If I start getting shot up, first thing I do, I duck into cover, I throw a chem launcher down, I hit my armor kit button, and patience kicks in. So I'm triple backed up every time I start getting low on health. I have 3 things healing me up while I'm in cover waiting. So that's the blue aspect of this build, and the other aspect is red. There's absolutely no skill in this whatsoever. I don't use any kind of skill power. It's absolutely unnecessary in the raid. The only things you need is damage and a way to heal. The key to all of this, obviously, Berserk chest piece. You've got to be healthy if you're going to run Berserk. So that's the builds I wanted to show you guys tonight. Let me know if there's any way that I can improve them. Also seek out some of the other guys who could tell you great things about how you can do a build for the raid. I hope you guys learned something with this, and thanks for letting me show off some of my stuff. Contact me anytime, Zachary Finnefrock on Facebook, Zjayfi on PSN, and Zjayfi on YouTube. I'll catch y'all later.